So yeah, I work with NOMA, so the Northern Manhattan Arts Alliance, and I think we had originally commissioned it. So back in the day, so like all that graffiti on there.
Yeah.
I think that was us, I believe. But kind of what happened recently was that just like overnight, like the MTA like painted over all the graffiti, which like without letting anyone know.
Oh shit.
Like, that didn't let us know, didn't let like anyone know. They kind of just like painted over the whole shit.
But who kind of made that call? Was it like the mayor or?
I don't know. I think it was just like the MTA. It was just like, fuck it. But yeah, so we were upset, and then I don't know how it went down, but eventually like they hit us up to like get artists to paint the tunnel again.
Oh, so you guys are gonna paint it again?
Well, they did paint it again.
So the flowers, because there was like flowers.
Yeah, there's like flowers and like a lot of like repetitive stencil designs.
So that's gone, or that's still there?
That's still there, but the thing is that, so they shut the tunnel down for 3 days, but they only gave the artists like 8 hours to work, which is nothing. To complete that whole tunnel, like,
oh shit,
that's nothing. So that's why the work isn't necessarily like the best work, because they were kind of rushed. Yeah, so the MTA kind of just didn't do it the right way, and like it looks all right now, but you know, and the whole thing that's going, the controversy is that, you know, they're just trying to make it pretty for the gentrifiers, right? The people coming into the neighborhood, and kind of like getting rid of all the graffiti and the culture surrounding that.
Yeah. They were going off in the comments. This one lady, she was.
Yeah, people don't play here. People, you know, they smell bullshit really easily.
Yeah, I mean, that's where it should be. And then people in power, like in some type of power, that can like hear your voice and then do something about it. But it sounds like what happened, right?
Yeah, that's why I love working with NOMA, because you know most nonprofits are self-interested, right? But this one actually seems to, like, you know, we have grants for artists. We're getting artists active in the community, putting up exhibits and stuff. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah, hopefully, like, that's what I want these little podcast things to end up in an exhibit.
Yeah.
And then people can watch, like, see the photographs, the visuals,
right?
And then also like hear, maybe put some headphones on,
right?
Or maybe go into a room and just listen.
Yeah. The multimedia aspect is definitely really interesting.
Yeah.
We got photos, videos. So yeah, we have a little gallery right in the United Palace, right there where the studios are at. So we have a gallery on the first floor, and then the studios on the second floor. We just had a Hispanic Heritage Month exhibition.
Oh yeah, who are some of the artists?
We picked from like all local artists, like from Washington Heights, and then I was able to sneak some images in the exhibit as well. Yeah, one of the artists is Adeline Lulo. I don't know if you've heard of her. She's like a really well-known like Dominican photographer. She shoots on medium format. She shoots a lot in DR, like, so it's like crazy images of like the countryside of DR. Yeah, there was on a church actually on Fort Wash, like back there in like 179th. There was this woman living there because she was an immigrant from Guatemala. And you already know Guatemala is like, the government is
corrupt.
Yeah. So she came over here, as one does, seeking a better life for her and her family. So she was like, I forgot what it was, but she had a deal with ICE where like, as long as you attend appointments, you can stay in the country, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But one day, like, they were kind of just like, you have to go back.
Damn.
So she decided not to go back, and she stayed in the church because churches and schools and hospitals, ICE can't go in, like they can't enter. So it's like they call it like sanctuaries.
Yeah.
So she was staying there in that church in a very small room. I got to interview her for like over a year.
Oh, okay.
Not being able to like step out of the church.
Damn.
Yeah. And she had like 3 kids, so like there was like a lot of volunteers taking her kids to school and like that kind of thing.
This actually is the park. I think
yeah?
my boy used to live right there.
Oh wow.
Building.
Oh shit. Fort Washington.
Yeah, that's what it was. And they used to do barbecues out here.
I used to skate, like skateboard.
Uh-huh.
And they used to have a bunch of ramps like out here.
Oh, okay.
And shit. But again, like, so there was like ramps. It was like portable shit, like wooden, like self-made ramps. And they would put it in this cage right here. But again, look, they're just gone, you know? So, wonder what happened
you guys
there.
should just pull them out?
Yeah. I'm sure the park didn't fuck with it.
Might get some interesting shots with the bridge or something.
Yeah. I shot part of the commercial here.
The one for Latino Film Festival? Yeah. How did you pick your crew?
Well...
Because you shot that too, right?
I didn't shoot, I just directed it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I didn't want to do both for once in my life. You know, I wanted to...
Which one do you love doing the most? Directing or being a DP?
That's tough.
Yeah.
I'd probably say directing. Because that, again, this was like, I'm used to always like doing everything myself.
Right.
So this was the one time I got to like just direct, and like it was fantastic. It was like you work closely with the DP, and like it's just a great experience. So
yeah, we're probably getting a shitty sound over here, so let's just hang out here.
Yeah.
Oh, get this shit off my back for a while.
It was great. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I've been documenting those like Dominican Day Parade, Puerto Rican Day Parade for the past like 3 years now. So I'm hoping to make it into like a little photo book.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. So, like when you shoot, sometimes are you?
Yeah, I mean, I've only recently like gotten into that mindset, you know, just because you want your work to like live on, right? So making it into something bigger.
Or on the wall, you know, on an exhibition or something.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I share them, sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
You know, I got a couple. I just recently, I was telling you the exhibition at the United Palace that we just did for Hispanic Heritage Month. Those photos I didn't share on social media because I wanted it like you have to come in person to see them kind of thing. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough with the whole content thing and like feeling forced to share photos. I mean, I was raised by my grandparents, so they're like in their 60s, 70s, so they don't really. I'm fortunate that they support what I do in the first place, right? But yeah, when I first started getting tattoos, they were like, "Why are you?" I had to get one that was like my first one was like meaningful, like you know, to my mom. It's like my mom's handwriting on my wrist, so like she was kind of like, and it's about God, so they're like. It's better, and then once I got the butterfly on my chest, they're like, okay, you're going too far, you know, that's it, that's enough. Usually artists are the most fucked up, like usually they struggle the most with mental health, usually like, and I think it's just because we see the world in this way, and it's like a very broad way, and we think about things in a way like, you know, someone that's not an artist isn't necessarily gonna look at it as, you know. So, and that's like tormenting, you know?
Yeah.
That's like you're choosing on purpose not to make money. You know, you're choosing a passion, and that's very few people do that. It's so oversaturated. Like everyone's a photographer, everyone's a filmmaker. So like you kind of have to be. At least that's what I tell myself is like you just have to be like delusional and like just think like I am the one. But it's tough, man, like feeling like not loved or like, you know, not appreciated as an artist. And that's what like, at least with social media, what I like try to do is like, I want people to connect with my work, but I also want people to connect with me. Early on, like 19, like I started doing like working with HBO and like doing this big shit. So like I felt like people weren't really taking me seriously because like I was getting all this experience, and it's not a lot of experience, but I was getting this like weird, like I was in a unique position where I was like 20 working on like Sex in the City as a writer's assistant, and I had no business being that. But like, you know, you just want people to take you and your work seriously. Yeah. I think especially with like kids, like the whole thing is like their brain is not fully developed yet, right? So like they can only see what's in front of them, right in front of them, kind of. Like if they're in high school is their world.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like that's it. Like if something goes wrong, if you go through a breakup or whatever, that's the end of your world, you know? I think as you just get older, you start seeing it as more, your brain literally like finishes developing, and like I forgot there's like a term for that. Like literally, like humans have a hard time processing that every other human has their own life, and it's like almost like we're inherently selfish, right? And I think the only way we can like combat that is like, I think just being as present as you can, right? Because being present allows you to hear others for their fullest, like this. Like you can sit down and hear someone else, and like, yeah, that's one thing I'm trying to be, like just as present as possible. Like, you know, like I said, my parents are like older, so like I know there's not much time, you know.
Man, there's people living till 100 years old. Man.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to enjoy now because I know now is like.
I mean, there's always like another worry up the hill, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like right now you don't have kids, but then you're gonna have a kid. Then is that worry? It's like,
yeah.
But being a freelancer, man, there's always worry every day, man.
Right.
Like I haven't worked this whole week. This month I got a couple of gigs. This is gonna make up for the fucking 2 weeks that I didn't work.
Right.
You know, but it's stressful, man.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's exhausting. That's what people like. Usually, when you like tell someone like I do freelance, they usually glaze over it. They're like, oh, cool. Like, you know, they don't see it as like a serious job. But like, you're working like 16-hour days.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like it's no joke.
The directing, how what's the toughest part of directing? Like, cause you do kind of like dramas, right?
Yeah, I did. My first one was a drama, and I'm interested in like fiction and like dramas. But I've done more documentaries for some reason. I don't know why, just unintentionally. But I'm definitely more interested in like narrative work. Yeah, I think the most difficult thing is like, I'd say probably like communicating to your actors.
Yeah.
Like that's the hardest part.
Oh, which one of your because I were all your stuff like documentaries, even like the movie theater one was obviously
that was a doc.
Right.
The one before that was called Con Dios. That was a doc about my mom.
Okay.
And then Negatives was the fiction. Technically the only fiction one.
Oh, okay.
But this commercial obviously was also fiction.
Gotcha.
Like,
so you were directing some of the talent there, right?
I was directing like little kids, like on this field, and it's not easy telling like.
Nah, it's not.
They already don't care. So like they're just doing it to have fun.
What was the youngest? And what was
probably like 6.
Damn.
But like they don't grasp what they're, you know, they don't give a fuck. So you have to like organize, like you're gonna run from point A to point B. Like don't run this way, don't run that way, like run A to B.
Yeah.
And it needs to be a little slow so the camera could catch up to you. And they're like, okay, yeah, sure. You know?
Then they do whatever they want.
Yeah, communicating to your actors and communicating to your crew, like not everyone's gonna see what you see, right? So explaining that as clearly as possible. Especially because time, I mean, you work in production, like time is like of the essence, and you're always going over. There's no being on time, right?
So I just did a doc, and it's getting a premiere at Chelsea Film Festival.
Okay.
Which I'm like excited about. That took 2 years, but I just worked. I was the DP, so I really like. I had nothing to do with the editing, the color grade, or anything, but it turned out to be pretty. Like I'm happy the way it turned out.
My docs were like, I kind of took almost like a narrative approach to documentary, because documentaries could be like boring as fuck, you know. So like, I took like the one about the movie theater. I say it's like a magical realist documentary, because like I use elements of magical realism. Like it's very like childlike almost, because I want to evoke that feeling we had of going to the movies as a kid and like losing yourself in a film.
How were you able to say that on the screen, like visually?
So I made like a 1 to 100 scale replica of the theater itself, like a miniature scale.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, because
who did that for you?
I did it myself.
Oh, you did it yourself?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah. Again, I'm used to doing everything myself.
Yeah,
so like,
yeah.
I shot it, I graded it, edited it, like everything. But yeah, I just, because the theater was demolished, it was an empty lot. So what footage am I gonna get? Of the theater? So I made a theater, you know. Yeah, and I just like interviewed people of the like in the community that went to the theater, people that worked in the theater. Like, I just got like people's memories of.
But what B-roll did you use with the interviews? Is what I'm saying, like to capture that magical realism aspect.
So I used like, it was just like a regular interview, but then I would cut it with like shots of the miniature and like very whimsical childlike music.
Okay.
I did find like someone did, I guess, a short documentary about the movie theater like back in like 2001 or something.
Okay.
So I found that footage, so I was able to use that footage of it. But yeah, just a lot of workarounds. Like I did, I took a drone shot of the bridge.
Okay.
A drone shot of the empty lot, like from above.
I tried to look for it. I couldn't find it.
Yeah, it's not public right now.
Okay.
Because it's like still going through. There's still some festivals that I submitted it to.
Okay.
So like, you know, like when you have a film, it can't be published online.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna publish it eventually, and I can send you a link with the password.
Because actually, the way I'm kind of like, it looks like the way I'm getting my foot into like some like work for like bigger companies is through doc. Because again, a lot of the stuff I DP is like usually my own stuff where I find a client on social media. The comedy pilot was the biggest budget I worked with, was like $10,000. And so, but I didn't get a chance I didn't grade it, man. I wasn't too happy about the grade, but I showed the pilot to a kid. He was super entertained.
Really?
And I'm like, yo, that's all that fucking matters, man. At the end of the day, is if you can entertain people, then you won, you know?